Thank you, Peter, and thank you all so much for coming and for supporting UPB. I began to work here in 1976 when I just moved to Berkeley, and I worked here for 10 years, and it was just the most amazing job, and I would probably still be here had not somebody come in and suggested that I teach composition at St. Mary's. But I can't say enough about this atmosphere and the beautiful bookstore and Karen and Bill's vision and Christina Creveling carrying it along and the beautiful people, and also obviously Peter's vision in having events here that have really taken off and keep our neighborhood store wonderful. So every time you visit that Amazon site, remember how much we need bookstores and that little small extra amount of money that you might spend on a book when you actually have it handed to you by a human being, and it's just a pleasure. So I'm going to start actually with a poem that I wrote 30 years ago, and it's just going to be a little piece of a poem that's a longer poem about the bookstore. It's from my book Fortress, and it was written. I used to bring my little child here and just had all kinds of events and experiences. So this is from the middle of a long poem called Bookstore. Once I saw a kid stuff a book in his pants. Broad stone face, an Easter Island statue. He'd chosen a large book with maps, and he trembled as he did it like a revolutionary. Why did I, grabbing it from him, think the book felt like a baby as he ran? That I, who had seen, was implicated. Abject is the watcher, abject. Having no lamp, you must not enter the churchyard. Always to be subjective, like a book. That's what I wanted, to face inside, but also to turn out, to have a soul that would resemble paper, and be carried out into the alabaster street, where on the other side of order, there is no suffering. Friday nights in the pre-spring, sea to the right in black and red, her legs tapping time to the filament of jazz, and fragments would blur together, and I was immensely comforted by this. The customers would stare inside as thought stares into meaning, cupping their hands around their eyes, the dime store relics of their breathing on the glass, and the last of them would enter, relinquishing their packs. And tonight is actually the height of the Geminid meteor showers. And this book is the fourth book in a tetralogy about elements, and it's the fire book. And so this is a poem called Geminid Showers and Healthcare Reform. Behind the galaxy there was a flute. Sound was making love to sound. Time was making sound to sexual, textual, lexical space. We worked too hard. We lay near fields from which they gathered plastics, mimics and contortionists, under the ping-ping of meteors, under made-up constellations. The planet flew through space junk while the healthcare bill was being penned, with pens from Chantix, pens from Lidoderm, and Protonix, with pens from Actos, Lamisil, and Celebrex. Late autumn made a fire in us. The cosmos waited for a sign. The soul was waiting for the mind. Fat chickadees waited for sweet fennel, and nameless asters on side streets where drones take violins to the queen. What kind of drones? The sounds fly out for thee. We slept as many as the anyway, where meaning met material, that is, inside the personal, that is, for love of earth. At the solstice, a yellow fragment. Our Lord of Literature visits my love. They have gone below. They have lost away among the tablets of the dead. Pre-dark energy, wood rat in the pine, furred thing and the fine. A suffering among syllables stops winter drops from cold, cold miracle night. A fox deep in its hole, under yellow thumbs of the chanterelles. No, gold thumbs. Goldman Sachs pays no tax. Baby goats in the pen, not blaming God, not blaming them. Alias, buried egg of the shallow helmet turtle, Actinimus marmorata, alias, thanks for calling the White House comment line. For your life had stamina from a childhood among priests, and far in the night beyond the human realm, a cry released the density of nature. So I chose seasonal poems right near solstice, and then I thought I'd read two poems that have to do with a more maybe holiday spirit. Rituals with food before the feast. When darkness enchants us in its class of forms, and the about to happen renders calm, the berries split and snap in their juices. It's then the dear ginger cooks on the crown of heat. It's then the women make a cross in each chestnut. Then the sweet pulp rests in the shells after a flight from introverted trees. Voices curl near the blue flame. Mother and daughter pick moon seeds from the pomegranates. They are taxonomous and label the peppery fruit. A moment of fear as the meat is carried with sage, mushrooms, and bread. And the children laugh, though they had been sad. The baby sleeps in the grown-up bed, near a painting of Mary showing Jesus to the patron in desmittal altars. Radical energy, frail winter, styles of realism, come in. After the feast at year's end, the flash, the low cry, a storm took the lights. Where were you when the glass broke? Were you in the field with the startled heart? Earth's axis tipped twice in the dark, and nothing gleamed in a singular way. Hooty-hoo went the owl in the incense bough, and a daffodil pushed up too soon like a thesis in a freshman essay. The dead are patient among the trees. Visitor greets anti-visitor. Masked chickadee, masked waxwing. Masked waxwing is pretty darn hard to say. The violent are not carried away, they are packaged on Twitter. And your body is the broker for the wound and the miracle, though the wound can't wait to reveal itself, and the miracle learns the exit in advance. So I now introduce Cecil Giscombe.